A Mega Millions winner decides to do some investing with his newfound money. He might want to talk to our next guest. That's because he says you should not trust your instincts when making financial decisions. And joining us now is the author of Snap Judgment, When to Trust Your Instincts, When to Ignore Them, and How to Avoid Big Mistakes with Your Money. David Adler, welcome aboard. Why not trust your instincts?
Well, your instincts evolved to deal with people, to deal with early man, to run from an early mammoth or to an early mammoth. Your instincts did not evolve to deal with the stock market or calculating taxes or figuring out an APR or minimum amount owed for a credit card. It's just not, we just weren't put on earth for these complicated mathematical decisions.
So what should you do?
You should actually just, the first thing to do is have second thoughts about your first impressions. So if you have a snap judgment, a gut instinct about what you should do, if it's a person, if you like them, totally trust your gut. Or if you're afraid of walking down the street, you should trust that. But if you're coming with a complex financial choice, you have to slow down and evaluate some of the alternatives more thoughtfully.
Why do you say that if you drink lemonade, you'll make a different decision?
Well, it turns out thinking more rationally and slowly, as opposed to making a snap judgment, is dependent upon how much sugar you have. Basically, when you're run down, tired, you start making intuitive snap judgments because you're exhausted. So you can either sleep on it, seriously, it sort of restores your brain, or if you drink lemonade, there's a scientifically valid proof that it allows people to make more thoughtful decisions, better decisions, and are less likely to make snap judgments.
Well, speaking of intuition, you point out that intuition leads to car wrecks. Explain that.
In a complicated way, it's people intuitively always think they're in the slow lane. Whether they have a good self-image or bad self-image, it's just a perceptual problem. When a lot of cars pass you, you see them all passing you one by one by one, or when you pass a lot of cars, you see them as a clump because they're clumped together. So when traffic ebbs and flows, normal ebbing and flowing in traffic, you always feel like you're in the slow lane. So hence, people change lanes a lot.
And when they change lanes, that's when accidents happen, right?
Yeah, well, it disrupts traffic in your lane, the other lane, and of course there's the blind spot.
I was also fascinated that you pointed out I don't know whether this actually is a matter of perception, but you point out that coin flipping, which you would think would be a 50-50 proposition, heads or tails, two choices, right, is not really a 50-50 proposition. Your assumption would be wrong there.
No, that's a very subtle mistake. It's not well known. It's a new mathematical proof. It's that coin flips are a physical object. They're a coin. So they're governed by physical laws. And one of the physical laws is there's a slight inertia in a coin, meaning coin flips have a 51% chance of landing the side up they started. They are not 50-50. They're 51-49.
So if you see the coin before the coin flip, always call the side you're looking at. If it's tails in the guy's hand, say tails.
Exactly. But of course, in football games, usually the caller is not the flipper.
Right.
So you usually don't have that option. But now that you all know, that's what you should do.
Why should you always use a financial advisor, not try to make your own decisions?
Well, financial advisors are useful in calming you down. So if you're about to do something rash, if you're about to chase returns, if you're very upset, a planner acts as a brake on your decisions. But you still have to obviously be cautious with financial planners. And the cautious thing, the primary issue to worry about is taxes, because most financial planning is done on a pre-tax basis. I mean, when have you ever been to a financial planner who said, well, here's what the after-tax investments look like? It's all done pre-tax.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
David Adler. Good luck with the book. Ahead is